Welcome to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Experience. There, bus. I just checked the bus schedule. Said the bus would be here in 18 minutes. A few minutes later, I checked the bus schedule again. Said the bus would be here in 8 minutes. So now I'm like, okay. So the number 8. The number 8 is at play. When I talk about how they use manipulation, right? How they engage in these things. Even earlier today when I was talking about how they use numbers, they start using the sirens, right? So the number 8, they've been using it for the latter part of the day while I was with my daughter getting her hair braided. All right. And the number 8, what is the number 8? They tell you what it is that they're doing to you in subliminal messages and codes, right? So the number 8, if you read Robert Jay Lifton, the 8 criteria of thought reform, right? Today I showed you guys how they engage in what is called, well, I do all the time anyway, but I kind of forgot about that to mention these things, right? And it's called mystical manipulation or supernatural manipulation. So Robert Jay Lifton, 8 criteria of thought reform. Number 2 is mystical, or what they call supernatural manipulation. All right, it is use of technology, surveillance, right? What they call synchronized movement, right? And the use of the weaponization of the behavioral sciences. Hear the sirens? So, again, understanding human behavior patterns, right? Because, again, remember, our patterns, our thoughts, what we believe are conditioned into our minds by those who run and control the society. I talk about nudging. So they engage in psychological manipulation and what is called nudging. All right, now I didn't miss the bus. They said the bus would be here in 8 minutes. All right, so I'm leaving a little late because I had to rest my back. Sitting down there for that long, even though the chair was a little bit more comfortable, it wasn't as hard, but still sitting down there for that long, kind of compresses your spine. All right, so when that happens, I still have to rest my back before I leave. Because if I leave right away and to go home, all right, I would not be able to sit down or have to lay down, and there's nothing literally. Again, because I've experienced it so many times that I actually know what to do. I pay attention to what it is that they do and how they do it, how it affects me. And so I do things to counter a lot of things that they do, right? And when they, particularly when my daughter got to get her hair braid, Pam will take so long to get there. Like I said, I understand she's at work, right? But she's sitting on a comfortable chair. I have to sit on that hard chair, and then she'll come late, and then she won't call and say, "Hey, I'm on my way home," or anything like that. But she'll have me wait, wait, and I didn't leave until I got back to the apartment at 9:40 something, right? So I've been there from 2:30. Okay. And I had to call her. Hey, where you at? Oh, I'm just coming in the house. And this was around minutes to 8. So I gave her at least 2 hours so she can decompress. And, I called her. She's like, Ethan is on his way, such and such. And, I said to Ethan, so I said, where you going? You go to the mall with his friends. Okay, then he, so when he came home, I was like, where did you go? He was like, well, I thought we was going to Kings Plaza. I'm like, what you mean you thought? I said, didn't they tell you where you was going, where they were going? They just said the mall. But Ethan, you need to ask more information. You know, this is the thing I can tell Pam, and this is what Pam doesn't do. Anytime Ethan got to go somewhere, I have to, if I'm there, and which I did, I should have done today, because he just said, he told me they were going to Kings Plaza, so I assumed it was going to Kings Plaza, based on what he said, Kings Plaza. But, you know, they end up going to some mall out in Queens, right? And I'm just like, okay. And I said, you know, you need to find out exactly where you're going before you leave this house. Okay? But this is what Pam would do. When he got to go somewhere and he asks her, she doesn't ask, okay, Ethan, where are you going? I mean, Ethan is 16 years old. All right? Ethan, where are you going? How are you going to get there? And so forth, right? Do you know how to get there? Look up where it is, look up how to get there before you leave the house. That way you already know. If you walk out of the house with no information other than you're going to the mall, then how are you going to know? What mall? Are you going to go to any mall? I mean, come on. You know, it's like, you know, and then he did not want to wear a jacket. He just had a zip-up sweater on. I said, no, you need to wear a jacket. Yeah, but it's not that cold. I said, Ethan, it's cold outside, okay? It's cold. Right now it's 38 degrees. He came in around 9-something. Right? He came in after me. Or before me. While I was there when I came in. So he came in after me. You know? And I'm like, yeah, I bet he's glad I told him to wear that jacket.